Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room. And we do have a special guest coming in today. Dan Kaiser is with us as well. Guys, how are y'all feeling about these games we picked out today?
I'm personally feeling pretty good. I know that Dan must be liking that Michigan is struggling a little bit here, being a Michigan State alum himself there. So I think that's one of the games we're going to be talking about. And I'm leaning against Michigan in that one. I'm not sure about Dan, but.
Well, all in good time. So folks at home, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and please comment. Leave us your comments, your questions. If you have any games that you want to know about, maybe we can help you along the way. So today we are going to be talking about 3 games, and we're going to start off with Wisconsin and Michigan. So Wisconsin is -4. This one opened at -1.5 and moved all the way to -4.5. The total opened at 50.5. Now it's all the way up to 54. So Dan, since you're our Michigan man, why don't you let us know what you think about this one?
I don't know, to be honest. No, actually,
Dan, you're supposed to prepare for these things. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've been going back and forth on this one all week. I mean, Michigan, you got your defensive coordinators living in a different reality. I'm not really sure what he's thinking. Their head coach is thinking NFL plans. That they've lost their best offensive and defensive linemen. I mean, their defensive backs are atrocious. I mean, everything points against them. But Wisconsin, I'm still not sure. I haven't heard if Mertz is going to start at quarterback. I haven't heard either way yet. So that's kind of he must be for the line to move as much as it has, or it's just recency bias because of how bad Michigan has looked. I just think, I mean, where else do you find Michigan being an underdog at home unless they're playing Ohio State? I just think this line has moved way too much. And I'm going to hold my nose and go with Michigan in this one.
That's one of my favorite sayings. Hold your nose and make the bet, because sometimes it's just what you have to do. But I agree with that. I mean, good point. I think it's a bit of an overreaction on how poorly Michigan's been doing. What do you think, Nick?
Well, of course, Wisconsin, it's been off since October 23rd. It just hasn't played a lot. And so if it's not Mertz going, it's going to be Danny Vandenboom, who we don't know a lot about. But, I mean, Mertz came in, he was the backup himself, and so he filled in sort of seamlessly. And so I think that the Badgers are more about, their depth and the defense for sure. Milton is a great playmaker, but he doesn't have a lot of help around him. I'm sort of leaning the other way. Actually, I like Wisconsin here. I think that they've had enough time off to sort of prepare for this. This isn't, their quarterback issue isn't hitting, blindsiding them or anything. So I'm personally leaning the other way on that one.
All right. Well, I like that perspective too, that Wisconsin has had a lot of time to study. Michigan's played 3 games, so they've been able to watch tape and study what the Wolverines have been doing. So I feel that way too, or I feel you on that one too. Elliot B says he thinks Cincinnati rolls. They want to sorry, wrong game.
Yeah.
Well, I had another one up there. Okay, so that's where we're at on that one. Nick likes Wisconsin. Our Michigan man is going to hold his nose and
wait, stop.
Okay.
Don't call me Michigan man.
Michigan State man.
Michigan.
There's a big difference
about the state of Michigan, but I understand what you're saying.
I only claim the east side of the state when it comes to elections. Other than that, it's just over there.
Can I call you Spartan Dan?
There you go.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay. So there's a lot of talk in the chat about our next game. So I just kind of want to get right to it because everyone is questioning what's going to happen with ECU and Cincinnati. So it's Cincy minus 27.5, huge number. And then the total is 55. So Nick, why don't you kick this one off?
Sure.
And let me know.
Well, I like the underdog in this one. I think Cincinnati's obviously going to win this game. It's been rolling along 6-0, but it does have UCF next week on the road. And so I think that this is sort of a look ahead spot. This is a position finally in the part of the year where they can't mess around. They're getting down to the end. That's the championship game is in reach, is in sight. So there's no reason to run up the score in the second half. Now, East Carolina, of course, it's coming off a blowout loss to Tulane there. It lost 38-21. But still, their quarterback there, Holton Allers, he had a decent game. He was 27 of 43. He had 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I think he's going to, this team isn't going to roll over. And so personally, I think grabbing all these points, I think that Cincinnati's definitely going to win. That perfect record's going to remain intact, but I'm going to grab the points.
Taking those points. I cannot disagree with you because if there's one thing I love, it's a whole bunch of points. So I'm figuring this out, guys.
No worries.
Figuring it out. So Dan, what do you think about this one? Our friend Peter here says Cincinnati first half minus 17. What's your thoughts on this, Mr. Kaiser?
Well, I'm with Nick on this one. I leaning to take the points in this one also. I mean, East Carolina has lost 3 in a row, and they did get, as Nick said, they did get beat up pretty badly last week. But they have played Navy and Tulsa tough in 2 losses. And last year, Cincinnati won this game by, I think, 3 points as a 25-point dog. Or right. 25-point favorite, actually.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would disagree with Nick on is I think Cincinnati does have every reason to try to run the score up.
Okay.
Only because right now they're sitting number 7. They need it is a long shot for them to make the playoffs if they don't expand it, but they're going to need every win they can get, and they're going to have to be look good doing it. They're going to have to blow out everybody out if they want to even chance to sniff a spot at the playoffs if they stay undefeated. That's the only thing I can see for them running up the score. But still, you're talking 27.5 points right now. It could even go up higher by the time kickoff comes. So yeah, I think it's a lot of points. The weather's supposed to be, start in the low 40s and be in the 30s, during the game. So it's going to be cold. It's going to probably rely a little harder in the passing game. So I just think points are going to be a little bit harder to come by in this one, and I would take the big number.
I could see that. That's a really good point. And it's something I don't always remember because I live in the land of the hot, is that in other places it gets cold. So especially this time of year in that part of the country. So yeah, I'm with that. And I thought for so many points, like the total seemed a little funny with 27.5 points and then a total of 55. Was that just me? I mean, it felt kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that ECU is going to put some points on the board, and so I guess what you're saying is you think that's kind of low.
Yeah, when the spread is that big, I would expect that the total would be a little bit higher. I guess they're just not expecting ECU to put up any points at all. So,
right.
That's they're at least hoping.
Right.
At least hoping they don't. Yeah, Cincinnati's defense has played really well, and Cincinnati has won. I mean, they beat Houston by 28 and Memphis by 39 and SMU by 29. So they can score big blowout teams. I just think, and also as Nick said, they got a big game next week. Yeah. So they could be looking ahead or not wanting to throw out too many things for UCF to see. So I just think this is going to be a little bit tighter than the number.
I see it. I could see it. We did have, just to throw one out there, one of our viewers was wondering Minnesota or Iowa. Do you guys just have any quick ideas about that one off the top of your head?
What do you think, Dan? Well, both of these teams started out 0-2, and then they both just won their last game, and they both look pretty decent. And both of their two losses were pretty close. They were both competitive in both of them. But no, I think, Iowa is the favorite here. I think I think it's the better team still here than Minnesota. There's still some question marks with Minnesota there, and so that's my initial thought without having looked at it too closely.
I like last year I was into Minnesota and the whole PJ Fleck craze and whatnot. But I've been really disappointed by them this year. I really thought that they would be stronger than they actually are. So yeah, I kind of lean towards Iowa here. What about you, Dan?
I'd take the points myself, but that's just me. But Minnesota had to replace a lot on their defense. Their offensive line, they had to replace a lot, and that they're starting to come together. I mean, you got Bateman and Ibrahim, they're tough. And I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed by anybody that blows out Michigan State. So,
well, Ibrahim, yeah, he was amazing in that last game there. Just trying to pull up some stats. He had 4 touchdowns and 224 yards on 30 carries. I mean, that's quite the amazing performance. It's hard to imagine him having a duplicate performance like that. So you got to take that into account too, I think, here, personally. I mean, he's an amazing player, but it's hard to imagine him delivering in back-to-back monster games like that. And really, it was that effort that won it for the Gophers last week. Or I guess, they blew out the Illinois. There was no contest, but I mean, yeah, right. He was a big part of that, obviously. But I just have a hard time seeing him gaining that production against this superior, defense. Definitely, the Hawkeyes' defense is a lot better than Illinois'.
Yeah, indeed. Chris McCann says Iowa should run for 250 plus.
Right, yeah, and so Iowa already has 7 sacks, 6 interceptions, and 2 fumble recoveries through 3 games. So it's an opportunistic defense on Iowa for sure. It's not even close to the same as Illinois. So
I think did they get all those though against Michigan State?
That's true. That's a good call.
Right.
Michigan State can make any defense look good except Michigan.
That's true, but still, I do think that they're significantly better than Illinois. So I guess we disagree on that one.
Agree to disagree. 17 Clipper says he's on Cincinnati over Iowa money line, and he's considering FIU plus 10. Any thoughts on FIU plus 10?
FIU has some issues with their quarterback and just the fact that they haven't played a lot at this point. I think that's their main issue. FAU, of course, with Willie Taggart, he has their team at 3-1.
Willie Taggart does? Oh my God, I auto fade Willie Taggart. I just didn't know where he went because I really don't care, but I can't stand Willie Taggart. Anyway,
FIU's in the early going, it struggled to stop the run, and so FAU's been pretty decent at that, and they have a decent defense. They're giving up 20 points or less in each of their 4 games. And so their only loss was against Marshall, who's now, 6-0 and ranked number 16, and that came on the road. So that's nothing to, how can you blame them about that game? FIU, it hasn't played. So it hasn't played since October 23rd. And because, so it's hard to say what you're going to get out of FIU. Personally, I sort of am leaning towards laying the points here. But that's just my initial thoughts looking at this game quickly.
All right. Dan, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I didn't look at this game. I spent all my week handicapping games that all got postponed. So.
Oh, that's true. This is like 11.
All my best bets for the week were all postponed. So.
Oh, I hate that.
The Cal game is playing on Sunday now at noon.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, if you heard that. So
One of the guys that I do a different podcast with really liked Cal for Cal this season. He thought that they were going to be a sleeper team in the division, and then he was kind of upset that maybe their schedule wasn't looking like what he thought it would look like.
right.
Okay, so then we can cruise on. We've got one more game to cover, and then we'll still touch on what you guys are talking about in the chat. While I've got you, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. So we're going to move on to Utah at UCLA.
They're not playing.
Well, hell, why
And
didn't you text me and tell me that?
I just saw it a little while ago. And UCLA's playing Cal on Sunday.
Okay.
And nobody wrote me a memo.
Yeah, no, that's different. So we can shift to something else. I didn't realize that either, guys, at all.
Totally.
So I mean, this is all happening, within the last couple of hours, etc. So
because UCLA's game got postponed, Cal's game got postponed, and they just decided, let's play.
Right. Tony Wynn is saying take Cincy first half. That's his best bet. And Elliot V, or the fifth, is saying FAU covers. And Chris Raffati, he's saying Cincy first half does sound pretty good. And Don Pham is saying, so ECU plus 27.5 in Iowa. That is what Dan and I both agreed on, ECU at plus 27.5. And it was Ali and I that liked Iowa. Dan wanted to go the other way on that particular play.
So I do have the rapid fire picks from Kurt or from Craig. So maybe we can just cruise through some of those and see if we agree with what Craig says.
For sure.
Oh, Craig Trap. All right. So the first one we did was Indiana at Michigan State. He says take it over the 51.5. Nick, what do you think about it? Actually, let's go to Dan first because he's our Spartan man. Spartan man Dan, what do you think about it?
I'd take the over. Also,
you like it?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan State could give up 51 on their own.
And plus, they're coming off a dud, and it's sort of a contrarian pick. I like it. I like that over as well too. I think this is a bounce back. Michigan State, they lost horribly and then bounced back there against Michigan. So yeah, go Rocky.
But basically, it just comes down to turnovers for them. I mean, they turned over the ball 7 times in the first game, and I don't remember how many against Iowa, but it was enough. And they didn't turn the ball over against Michigan, and they won that game. So
right.
Yeah, it all depends on if they turn the ball over.
Absolutely, that they are game changers. No question about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so next up we have Notre Dame at Boston College. Craig Trapp says take the points with BC. And I remember him saying that Notre Dame was in a bit of a letdown spot. I rocked this game. I last minute plus 155 Notre Dame and cashed that ticket against Clemson, who I had plus 140 because I in-played it. So I loved that game. But I agree. I think Notre Dame could be in a huge letdown spot right now. And 13.5 points, that number could still climb into the 14s. What do you think about it, Nick?
I haven't had a chance to look at this too closely, and I am just right now. But the way that you broke that down and the analysis, that's exactly the way that I would be looking at it for sure, that this is definitely a letdown spot for Notre Dame, Boston College. And so they're getting the 2 touchdowns and a hook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
13.5.
Oh, 13.5. Okay.
Yeah. Just under that number that we want it to be.
Right. No, but still, I would lean to grabbing the points here. Absolutely.
What do you think, Mr. Kai?
I need to pass on this game.
Okay. Pass it is. We need an easy button. Okay. So this is the game that I'm going to spend my day preparing to watch and watching is Oregon at Washington State. Last year, Justin Herbert was my favorite quarterback and Mike Leach was my favorite coach. And now neither one of them are there anymore, but I'm still really excited about this game. They both won their games last week. And now we've got Oregon now we've got Craig saying take Washington State plus the 10, which I'm torn because who doesn't want 10 points with a home dog? But I don't know. I think it's going to be close. So I would agree, kind of take the points with Washington State, but the duck in me is like, screw the Cougars. So.
And who does Craig like in that one again? Sorry.
Craig he says, take Washington State plus the 10 points.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet.
I don't really have a side in this one, but I'd lean to the under.
Okay.
In this one, because Washington State, this is not last year's. This is not Mike Leach's Washington State team.
Right.
They run the ball, and I think they rushed for 240 yards last week, and it's supposed to snow for that game.
I read that also. Yeah, that it was.
And the line when it opened, it went up a couple points. Now it's back down. I think it's around 57.5 or something. I think that's what it was. I just think if it's snowing, and that's just going to be more running the ball, and I just think that game will probably stay under.
I can see that. And that would be like the play too, because everyone thinks they're just going to rack up points as far as old Joe Public goes and whatnot. So Wisconsin, Michigan, we kind of went through that one. Oh wait, no, I just started my whole dang thing over. Hold on.
No worries. Yeah, we did. We went over Wisconsin, Michigan, and somebody in the comments there, Minnesota has no defense, says Tony Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And Chris McCann says he could see both Minnesota and Iowa scoring at will. So the next rapid fire Craig did was Florida State at NC State. He says to take this one over the 59. Any thoughts on this?
I don't personally. Again, I haven't had a too close to look at that one. Dan?
If I was playing this game, I would take the over also. I mean, it seems like NC State you can score on them at will, and Florida State's defense is not much better. It's just whether or not the offenses can produce.
Right.
And at NC State put up 40 points, I think, last week. So I mean, they can score. So yeah, I think this number will go, or this game will go over that number.
All right. Tony Wynn agrees with us. He says take over only of NC State and the Florida State game. Over 59 is that number.
Okay.
And then we have one more of the college football rapid fires. It's UNLV at San Jose State. Craig also says to take this one under the 59. I'm going to have to agree with that because I've watched UNLV play football for so long and they're not very good at it. So where those 59 points are going to come from. And SJSU's program has improved from last year, but I can't say that it just seems like a lot of points for these two teams.
Right.
It's a lot.
Right. Yeah. So UNLV, it's averaging 149.3 yards per game on the ground, 162.7 yards per game through the air. I mean, poor UNLV offense has put more pressure on the defense, obviously. I mean, the UNLV defense has been pretty poor. They're allowing 37 points per game. But yeah, maybe this is the time for these two defenses to shine here against these two mediocre to poor offenses.
Yeah, that's a good point. Totally. What about you, Dan?
I'm usually asleep or passed out by the time these West Coast teams play on a Saturday night. So I have no idea. I haven't looked at this game. So
well, in the early going, San Jose State has the 13th best defense in the nation, allowing just 14.7 points per game.
Right.
And the UNLV offense is averaging just 17.3. I mean, we're talking about just a handful of games here, but if we're just going by those numbers, I mean, yeah, everything's screaming under that 58 number.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. It's like it's hard enough to stay up to watch some games, but if I was going to stay up to watch a game, it would not be UNLV State. That's not where I'm putting my beauty sleep. So. I do have some NFL ones. Have you guys done any work on the NFL thus far? If we buzz through some rapid fires?
Sure, I can. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to start with the Bucs at the Panthers. Craig Trapp says take it under the 50.5. And I'm pretty sure that Chelsea likes the Panthers with the points. Mrs. Chelsea Messenger liked the Panthers with the points. So what do you guys think about this one?
Well, an interesting divisional matchup. Yeah, I don't have an official play out on this one yet. I guess I would sort of be leaning towards Tampa Bay personally. Just I think that what we saw last week from the Bucs wasn't what they really are. They've had a letdown there. But yeah, no, the Bucs are still averaging 27.8 points per game. They're allowing just 22.6. They have such a dynamic offense, and their defense is great. So I'm sort of leaning personally towards the Bucs.
I would go with Craig and take the under in this one.
I remember. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think the Panthers have played well under Bridgewater, but again, I think McCaffrey's out again, and that's gonna hamper that offense. And you need all the weapons you can get against that Bucs defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on with their offense, but they'll score enough points in this game.
That was I watched most of that game, the Saints and Bucs, like that was my face. Like, how this is really going down right now. It's really happening this way. Like, you might have been on the Saints money line, the Saints, sure, but did you really think it was going to be 38-3? Did you really think that? Because I did not.
No, that was an outlier for sure. That's one of those ones where no one could have saw that coming. Absolutely not. No.
And it seems like situationally that the Bucs would have to be like, oh, that was totally our bad. That's not what actually happened. Like, we're actually a really good team, and now we're going to come back. And so maybe it's not a great spot for the Panthers to be in if that's what their mentality is. But I remember Craig kind of saying that their offense looked really confused, that they didn't really know what was going on in that game. So
yeah,
Elliot might be right. Chelsea's betting with her heart. She's a good picker, though. I take Chelsea Messenger's picks and I cash them. So don't think Chelsea doesn't know what's up with the get down, because she does.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Super sharp.
Yeah, she is. So Chargers at the Dolphins. Craig says take the Dolphins -2.5. And you know what?
Yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah. I was impressed last week with the Cardinals, and I wish I could be impressed with the Chargers, but I'm not. I need you to do something. You have to win a game.
Yeah. Your grandpa always told you not to stand in front of a thrain, and Miami's just rolling here now. I like Miami. Its defense is underrated, and they're going to be playing to win here. They can see that they have a chance at winning this division even. Buffalo just isn't that much better or at all at this point. So, yeah, I like Miami here at home.
What do you think, Dan?
I think I'm gonna have a play on this game. And being a Lions, living in Michigan and having Detroit as your team, every time I see Tua play, I just want to throw a beer can through the TV.
Fair enough. I mean, hey.
I mean, that's the guy I wanted in Detroit, and
that would have been nice, wouldn't it? Yeah,
you can't go against the
Listen, Justin Herbert, he is fantastic too. I'm sure you would have been pretty happy if he was in Detroit as well. But yeah, I just think that this Dolphins defense, for me, they've been allowing 20.1 points per game. That's 5th in the NFL. Scoring is up in the NFL. Kurt Alexander made a good point, just saying that he doesn't think there's any good defenses anymore. Well, if there was a good defense, I think Miami's is a good defense. From what we've seen so far. I mean, so yeah, it bent there against Arizona last week, but it didn't break. And I mean, Arizona, that was a tough game. So yeah, I like Miami's defense.
Yep, I'm going to roll with that too. Especially at home. I like that at home too. It's a small number at home. I'm with it. So up next, we've got Bills at the Cardinals. Craig says take the Bills plus the 2. I'm against this one because, like I said, I was kind of trash talking the Cards, and I like the Cardinals too. But I was kind of saying when they played the Dolphins that they just came off the Seahawks, the Cowboys, and the Jets. So it's kind of like how good are they really, kind of a thing. But they brought it to the Dolphins game, and they didn't handle business. But I believe in this team a lot more than I did last time. And I know that the Bills are getting healthy and people are coming back. But I like the Cardinals at home in this spot. What do you think?
What do you think, Dan?
Just a second. I'm checking something.
Well, we'll wait for you. No,
yeah, I mean, this is another tough game. It feels very similar to that one against Miami, but because the Bills, Josh Allen, he was sort of struggling there for a few games, but he got the offense rolling again there against the Seahawks. So.
And what time is the game? Is this a first round game?
It's in the afternoon, so it starts at 4:05 Eastern.
Figuring out the Bills coming to Arizona and the time
Right.
there, if that would be an issue.
Yeah, I mean less so because it's in the afternoon.
Right.
But yeah, Josh Allen. I mean, he's third in the league with 2,587 passing yards. Stephon Diggs is the league leader in receiving yards. So this is a good offense here in Buffalo, and the defense hasn't been that great. So I mean, I would sort of lean to the over, but I guess it's a pretty high total, 56.5, and Arizona is coming off that overtime loss there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an official play on this one, but Dan, now that you've had a chance to look at that, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I didn't find what I was looking for. So, but no, I thought I heard something. I thought I read, but I'm old, so I don't remember things quite well. I thought Diggs might have been banged up, but
right,
I couldn't find it. If I was going to do anything on this game, I'd be with Nick and take the over. I just think both teams can put up points, and I think it's going to be more of a back and forth offensive show than a defensive effort.
I could see that. Yeah, Elliot says it's going to be a coin flip. So maybe that's the way to do it. Stay off the side and take a total.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I'm leaning to that over there.
All right. So we've got two more to go. The last one the second to last one is Bengals at the Steelers. He says take the Bengals plus the 7.5. And if you're looking to take the Steelers, then maybe you should wait and find out what the COVID situation there is, because you might be able to get a better number and get under that 7. So what do you guys think? So what's the play? I like the Bengals here. The Bengals have been covering like crazy. You know my Joe Burrow thing. So I kind of like the Bengals here. And the Steelers are ready to lose one. I mean, it's the old law of due, right? They're due. Especially if they're.
I like the Bengals too. I don't have an official play on this one yet, but I like the Bengals too. I think this is a great spot. They were like an 11.5 point favorite until the COVID issue there with Big Ben, and now, but I mean, yeah, you have Cincinnati coming off the big win at home, and an upset win at home, right, over the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Burrow has gotten progressively better every single game. This guy loves to win. I mean, can you imagine if he could hand Pittsburgh its first loss on its own field? You know what I mean? I mean, He's going to be trying his hardest to do that. And if Pittsburgh was ever going to have a letdown here, this is it. Big Ben is out. So, yeah, I mean, I love that, getting the 7.5 points personally. I mean, from a situational standpoint, I think that it just is great. And I'm thinking about sprinkling a little on the money line even. I mean, possibly here.
Oh, and like we were saying in the Wednesday live cap, the NFL live cap, Tua and Herbert, these younger quarterbacks are getting a lot of spotlight right now, but who's the guy with the national championship and the Heisman Trophy? Nobody's talking about him. So, this would be that spot that elevated him to the next level of household name. Not that he's not a household name, but
That's right. Herbert is leading the offensive rookie of the year race right now. But yeah, I mean, it's not over yet. And Joe Burrow would definitely love to throw his hat in the ring there. And this would be the game to do it. So I'm with Craig on that one. And I'm with you, Ali, on that one.
Elliot says he's wearing a Bengals hat right now.
Nice.
Gomez says the Steelers are covering. I would get some more information, Xavier. I'd get a little more information. What do you think, Dan? You agree with him?
Is Roethlisberger officially out?
Not officially, but
Yeah,
like
see.
because he doesn't have COVID, he was exposed to
Right.
it.
It's like a Stafford thing. It's like a
So he's
Stafford
got a
thing.
test.
That's what's
Yeah.
happened. It was the same thing with Stafford, and he played.
Right.
If I could get the Steelers at 7, I'd take the Steelers. I think they had their letdown game last week against the Cowboys.
Have we
Yeah,
seen
that
that?
was rough.
It would be interesting to see where the money is on that particular game. I'm just going to quickly check that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different.
because that's I'm sure. I mean, it might be 50-50. But I'm trying to find that, of course, here now. Yeah, it is. It's basically 50-50.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Coin flip.
Yeah, coin flip.
Okay. All right, so we have one more last one, and then we'll let you guys go and make some bets and cash some tickets. We've got Ravens at the Patriots. Craig Trapp says take it under the 44. Patriots are a hard team to watch this year, man. Real hard team to watch. Dan, do you have any thoughts about this one?
I will have a play on the side. I don't know. I would think. I think I'm gonna go opposite, Craig. I think I'll take the over in this one.
I see that. I could see it. It's a low number, especially
It's
for
a low number, and New England's defense isn't that good. I think Jackson either running the ball or passing the ball to Brown will get a couple of big plays. Their defense could score, and the Patriots. I mean, their offense is bad, but they still seem to be able to score some points.
Yeah.
And Newton with his legs can get him. Can make some plays. I think it's too low a number right now at 44.
Yeah.
I mean, 24-21 puts it over. So
right.
I would sort of lean to the under. I just don't see how the Patriots are going to score on this. I think that Baltimore, is going to shut this game right down. So I'm sort of leaning with Craig on that one.
All right. So we're split there. We got an over, we got an under. All right. Well, that just about does it for us today, guys. You at home, don't forget, check out Total Chaos tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I always say morning, I swear. We should do a total bet on how many times I'm going to get the time wrong because it's
right.
I would take you over.
I know it is confusing.
It's 1 p.m. Eastern for Total Chaos. Kurt Alexander and I are going to go through the entire NFL card. Nick Parsons is going to mediate, make sure no fists are thrown or anything, no bad words. And then actually next week on Total Chaos, we're going to have Sean Higgs going head to head with Kurt Alexander, which should be really fun. I'm going to start bringing new people in to have
Sean is great. He's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm running out of money to pay Kurt. So. I did get my one win, though. Okay, I got my one win. All right, guys. So that just about does it for us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Check out Total Chaos. And then meet us here every Wednesday. We do the live cap at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's our NFL live cap. And every Friday, it's 6 p.m. Eastern for the college football live cap. If you guys are in Vegas, keep on top of your notifications because Craig Trapp is in Vegas, Chip Chirimbus, Scott Rickenbach, and Kurt Alexander and I will all be somewhere watching the game on Sunday. We're just not sure where yet, but if you want to come down, get some free t-shirts and mingle, we'll give out some free picks for you, make some money at the book on Sunday in Vegas. Stay tuned because that is coming your way. All right, bye guys. Thank you for joining today. We'll see you guys next time.